دوستان بازم سلام خدمت همه شما. طریق چینل انگلیش کلاس بازم رخسار صادقی به خدمت هستم. اجزای موضوعی که امروز رویش بحث میکنیم، البته قسمی که میبینین یونت 11 هم است، بخش داستان و کتاب 4 شما. امیدوار هستم که درس مورد علاقه شما قرار بگیره و سوال داشتین، نظر داشتین، میتونین در اخیر ویدیو با ما شیر کنین. و به خاطر حمایت از چینل مثل همیشه لطف کنین چینل با دوستایتان شیر کنین تا اونام از ویدیوها مستفید شوند، سابسکرایب کنن، نظریاتشون شیر کنن. خب میریم به طرف کلاس خود. یونت 11 بخش داستان و کتاب 4 4000 Essential English Words.
A singer helped win the war.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. به نام خداوند یکتا آغاز میکنیم. How a singer helped win the war. چطور یک هنرمند به پیروزی در جنگ کمک میکنه؟
Sometimes famous people are vain.
Sometimes famous people are vain. بعضی اوقات افراد مشهور اونا مغرور می باشن.
They only care about themselves.
They only care about themselves. فقط اونا درباره خودشان فکر میکنن.
But Josephine Baker was an exception.
But Josephine Baker was an exception. اما خانم جوزفین بیکر یک خانم استثنا بود.
In the 1930s and 1940s, Baker was one of the most famous women in France.
In the 1930 and 1940, Baker was one of the most famous women in France. خب در دهه 1930 و 1940 خانم بیکر یکی از مشهورترین زنان فرانسه بود.
She was a big part of the new jazz genre and culture and had a diverse group of fans.
She was a big part of the new jazz genre and the culture and had a diverse group of fans. خب او بخش بزرگ از ژانر نحو و معنا میده، یک بخش بزرگ از ژانر و فرهنگ جدید جاز بود.
The French people especially loved her, and
The French people especially love her. و مردم فرانسه واقعا او را دوست داشتن.
loved France.
And she loved France. و او هم فرانسه را دوست داشت.
So when World War II started, she wanted to help the nation that had given her so much.
And she loved France. So when World War II started, she wanted to help the nation that had given her so much. خب بنابرو انگامی که جنگ جهانی دوم شروع شد، او میخواست به کشوری کمک کنه که یعنی بسیار به او اهمیت میدادن، یعنی همیشه او را دوست داشتن، میخواست که به اونا دوباره کمک کنن. Sometimes famous people are when they only care about themselves, but Josephine Baker was an exception. In the 1930 and 1940, Baker was one of the most famous women in France. She was a big part of a new jazz genre and culture and had a diverse group of fans. The French people especially loved her, and she loved France. So when World War II started, she wanted to help the nation that had given her so much.
In 1940, armed German troops entered Paris. When this happened, some French people...
In 1940, armed German troops entered Paris. When this happened, some French people formed a secret alliance. خب در سال 1940 سربازان مسلح آلمانی ها وارد پاریس شدند. Enter Paris. When this happened, وقتی که اتفاق افتاد, some French people formed a secret alliance. و بعضی از مردم فرانسه یک اتحادیه مخفی تشکیل دادند.
Formed a secret alliance. It was called the French Resistance.
It was called the French Resistance. خب وقتی که اینا امی اتحادیه را تشکیل دادن، یک اتحادیه مخفی بود و او را به نام مقاومت فرانسه یا نامگذاری کردن.
for the defense of France.
The group worked for the defense of France و گروپی که در اینجا کار میکرد دفاع از فرانسه میکردن، یعنی برای فرانسه کار میکردن.
It helped the European and American armies fight the Germans.
It helped the European and American armies fight the Germans. خب اینا به ارتش های اروپایی ها و امریکایی ها کمک میکردن تا با آلمان بجنگن. In 1940, armed German troops entered Paris. When this happened, some French people formed a secret alliance. It was called the French Resistance. The group worked for the defense of France. It helped the European and American armies fight the Germans.
Baker was an important member of the resistance.
Baker was an important member of resistance. خب در اینجا خانم بیکر یکی از اعضای مهم مقاومت بود.
She had 3 jobs.
She had 3 jobs. 3 وظیفه داشت.
The first was to carry messages to and from other members.
The first was to carry messages to and from other member. خب اولین مورد یا شغل اوی بود که پیام‌ها را به از سایر اعضا منتقل میکرد.
The messages were written in code on her sheets of music.
The messages were written in code on her sheets of music. خب و امی پیام ها به صورت یعنی کد روی برگه های یا ورق های موسیقی و نوشته شده بود.
The second was to provide shelter and supply goods to resistance members.
The second was to provide shelter and supply goods to resistance member. و وظیفه دومی ای بود که فراهم کردن سرپناه و تأمین لباس برای اعضای مقاومت بود.
It would have been dangerous if the Germans found them.
It would have been dangerous if the German found them. و این یعنی بسیار خطرناک بود، کار مشکل بود که اگر آلمان ها اونا را پیدا میکرد.
Baker's third job was the most important.
Baker's third job was the most important و وظیفه سومی خانم بیکر بسیار مهم بود.
Baker held concerts for European politicians and army members.
Baker held a concert for European politicians and army members. خب وظیفه سومی او بود که برای سیاستمدارای اروپایی و اعضای ارتش کنسرت برگزار میکرد.
She lured them in, promising an entertaining show.
She lured them in, promising an entertaining show. خب آنها را جذب میکرد با امو کنسرت خود، سرگرمشان میساخت.
She enchanted them with her singing and dancing and got lots of applause.
She enchanted them with her singing and dancing and got lots of applause. و او آنها را با آواز خواندن و رقصیدن خود یعنی اونا را جلب توجهشان به خود جلب میکرد و بیشتر تشویق میشد.
But Baker was always equipped with a small notebook at these concerts.
But Baker was always equipped with a small notebook at these concerts. و اما خانم بیکر همیشه در این کنسرت ها با یک دفترچه یادداشت کوچک مجهز می بود.
She listened for details about the war and wrote them down.
She listened for details about the war and wrote them down. خب او یعنی چی میکرد؟ تمام جزئیات اونا را یادداشت میکرد، با مو کتابچه که پیش خودش بود به جنگ گوش میداد، اونا را با مو کتابچه خود اما جزئیاتش یادداشت میکرد.
Baker sorted the details and gave authoritative reports to the resistance.
Baker sorted the details and gave authoritative reports to the resistance. خب و بعد خانم بیکر امی جزئیات را همیشه مرتب میکرد و گزارش های معتبری را به مقامات ارائه میکرد.
Some thought Baker's fame would be an obstacle.
Some thought Baker's fame would be an obstacle. بعضی ها فکر میکردن که شهرت خانم بیک یک معانق خواهد بود.
The Germans knew who she was, but
The German knew who she was. اما مردمی که در جرمن بودن، آلمان بودن، اونا میفهمیدن که خانم کی هست.
didn't think she was smart enough to work for the resistance.
But they didn't think she was smart enough to work for the resistance. خب اونا یعنی آلمان ها اینا میفهمیدن که او کی است، اما فکر نمیکردن که او اونقدر باهوش باشه که برای مقاومت کار میکنه.
So she could get information from the Germans easily. This helped the resistance.
So she could get information from the Germans easily. خب او یعنی میتونست که براحتی از آلمان ها اطلاعات جمع‌آوری کنه.
And the French army save lives and win the war.
This helped the resistance and the French army save lives and win the war. خب اینمی کمک امی خانم بود که او به مقامات و ارتش فرانسه کمک میکرد و جانشان افرادی که در جنگ بود جانشان نجات میداد و همی میشد که در جنگ باید پیروز شود. Some thought Baker's fame would be an obstacle. The German knew who she was, but they didn't think she was smart enough to work for the resistance, so she could get information from the Germans easily. This helped the resistance and the French army save lives and win the war.
Baker had a big impact on the resistance's work.
Baker had a big impact on the resistance work. خب بیکر تاثیر زیادی بر کار مقاومت داشت.
She got many awards for her help.
She got many awards for her help. و او به خاطر که کمک کرده بود، به خاطر کمکش جوایز بسیار زیادی را دریافت کرده بود.
When she died, the army had a special ceremony to thank her again for her bravery.
When she died, وقتی که او درگذشت, the army had a special ceremony to thank her again for her bravery. و امی ارتش یک مراسم ویژه را برگزار کردند به خاطر دوباره تشکری از شجاعت او. Baker had a big impact on the resistance work. She got many awards for her help. When she died, the army had a special ceremony to thank her again for her bravery. خب دوستای عزیز، این بود درس امروز ما شما از یونت 11 کتاب 4 شما بخش داستان خدمت شما تقدیم کردم. امیدوار هستم که درس مورد علاقه شما قرار گرفته باشه. تا درس بعدی که بازم به خدمت شما عزیزان می باشم، شما را به خداوند یکتا میسپارم. روز همه شما خوش. خداوند یار و مددگارتان.